So if you weren't aware, they dropped a new video for Xenoblade Chronicles X today. However, that's not really what I want to focus on here. I actually want to focus on what really makes that game spectacular and really makes it crazy. That is Hiroyuki Sawano, the musical composer to the game and his return to the franchise. And you may know who this is, but you may not even realize that you know who it is. And you'll see why I'm so excited about this. But first, be sure to like and subscribe. Helps out tremendously. Thank you very much. So Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition is coming out. It's remastered. It's coming out onto the Nintendo Switch in March, on March 20th to be exact. And they did drop a new trailer today which shows the epilogue, some hints of the epilogue. There's a new story chapter in there. For those who are not aware, Xenoblade Chronicles is Monolith Soft's IP, its main giant IP. If you're wondering who Monolith Soft is, Monolith Soft is a studio that is owned by Nintendo, and it's pretty much primarily its main things is Xenoblade Chronicles games, which are super huge, super successful JRPGs. Xenoblade Chronicles X was not really around for most people to witness because it was on the Wii U. And a lot of people did not have the Wii U, as Wii U's performance was not that great. However, as you can see, it is right behind me. As you can see here, the original Wii U copy of Xenoblade Chronicles X. However, it's going to be released on the Nintendo Switch coming up here soon. But we're talking about Hiroyuki, who does the musical compositions and does everything on this game that makes it absolutely fabulous. Now, who is Hiroyuki Sawano? That's what you're wondering? You're like, okay, look, I hear you, Spike, but why are you talking about this? Who is this? Who is Hiroyuki? You said we might know who it is. Well, let's dive in. Hiroyuki Sawano is a composer, age 44, and has been involved in a lot of different things. I was first introduced to Hiroyuki when I watched Gundam Unicorn, and that was actually his first big step out. But as you can see here, he does the music for namely like Kill la Kill. Kill la Kill soundtrack is phenomenal, but you'll also see here things like Attack on Titan. Now that makes a bit more sense, doesn't it? Seven Deadly Sins, Solo Leveling. Yeah, I know a lot of y'all are Solo Leveling fans. Blue Exorcist, and the list goes on. But he did the original composition for Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's one of the reasons why Xenoblade Chronicles X was so fabulous, because that soundtrack was straight bonkers, dude. Hiroyuki Sawano is straight bonkers. And I really enjoy Hiroyuki Sawano's music because it's very unique, and it really gets you pumped up. Like if you've ever watched Kill la Kill, like all of Kill la Kill soundtrack is just like pump you up music. The entire soundtrack is just like epic pump you up music. If you're wondering what Kill la Kill is this. If you recognize this character, how she looks here, very great, very popular anime that was released back in, I think, maybe 2014, 2013, 2014, as you can see there. So a very popular anime, very successful anime, very enjoyable. I would definitely recommend checking that out if you're looking for something to watch. But nonetheless, Hiroyuki Sawano has been influenced by a lot of great composers. And, if you're wondering about me, and while I'm talking about music and stuff like that, I'm someone who's very much has historically been involved in music as well. So naturally, it's going to just come natural for me to really see the music and appreciate the music in these games, in these series, because I understand the impact that music makes on this. I'm someone who very much has dibble-dabbled in all different types of genres. I have composed, I have produced, I have, written, I have performed, everything under the sun. I used to be very much involved in music. And when I say that, you look at me, you look at the color of my skin, and you're like, oh, this guy, he just listens to rap and hip hop. No, when I say everything, I mean, I've worked with artists who are hip hop, who are rap, who are rock, alternative, country, techno, EDM, salsa, everything under the sun. Everything doesn't have to be English. It could be Spanish, it could be Japanese, it could be Chinese, Mandarin, it could be whatever. It could be whatever, because music speaks in its own way. There's really no music. There's no language to music. Music is a language in itself, you feel me? But nonetheless, I very much enjoy Hiroyuki Sawano because of also his influences really align with mine as well. As you can see down here, some of Sawano's cited artists that influenced him are people like Ryuichi Sakamoto. Ryuichi Sakamoto is an absolute legend. If you're not familiar with Ryuichi Sakamoto, then you might be familiar with his famous song, Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. Like, that's a phenomenal freaking song. If you have not listened to that song, then Listen to it. You'll probably know it the minute it starts. You'll probably know it's a very famous piece. A very wonderful piece. But also Joe Hisashi. Joe Hisashi, y'all probably know this without realizing this. That's who does all the music for Studio Ghibli. So when you think of Studio Ghibli films, Joe Hisashi is very much in part a composer from most of those iconic tracks that you think of when you think of Studio Ghibli. I shouldn't have to remind you what Studio Ghibli is. Like Totoro, Spirited Away. You know, I shouldn't have to, you know what Studio Ghibli is, obviously. I hope, right? And then, of course, there's Yoko Kanno. I've talked about Yoko Kanno so many times, and she might be one of my most favorite composers of all time. Yoko Kanno is absolutely phenomenal, and everything that she touches is an absolute masterpiece. Literally, if I see that Yoko Kanno worked on a series, I will watch it on that premise, because I know the series is going to be good if Yoko Kanno did the music for it. That doesn't even make sense, right? Usually it would be like, oh, okay, like if I see a series, like you want to see it because the series looks interesting. Doesn't matter that much about the music. No, everything Yoko Kanno composes on is a banger of a freaking series. For instance, you know, for if you're wondering certain things that Yoko Kanno has worked on, think Cowboy Bebop. We all know how iconic Cowboy Bebop soundtrack is. Cowboy Bebop might be the most iconic soundtrack of any anime. Honestly speaking, it very well might be the most iconic soundtrack. But she did the music for Escaflowne, for Macross Plus, for Wolf's Rain, for Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. The list goes on and on and on and on. All those animes I just named right there are absolute legendary classical pieces that I recommend watching. They're pretty much all 10 out of 10s. Everything that she touches is phenomenal. And these are the types of people that Sawano has been influenced by, which is why Sawano is so successful and so amazing and why I enjoy his music. But really, I wanted to share some of the excitement about Sawano returning to the series after this long tenure away from it. You know, Xenoblade Chronicles originally came out in 2014 or something like that, 2013, 2014. So it's been a long time. And it was very well thought that he was not going to return. So seeing him return is very huge for the franchise, very huge for this new piece of epilogue story that we're going to be getting within this new game, this new definitive version of the game. So it's very exciting, and I wanted to focus on this instead of focusing on, you know, what everyone else is focusing on, which is the fact that we're finally getting Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Switch. So I'm very excited for the release of the Switch version of Xenoblade Chronicles X, and we will see how it goes. There's lots of new improvements, new features in it, which I've been, you know, looking at, and it looks very, very, very promising. Looks like they really went back and kind of, you know, adjusted some of the things that really were kind of less appealing, or maybe provided more roadblocks in the original version. So let me know down in the comments how you're feeling about Xenoblade Chronicles X coming. Let me know what you think about the music. Let me know if you're a fan of Sawano. Let me know if you're a fan of any of these artists that we brought up, that we mentioned, Yoko Kanno, Ryuichi Sakamoto. Let me know if you listen to any of this stuff, because all these are great conversational pieces. Be sure to like and subscribe. Once again, comment down below. I will see you on the next one. Much love. Holla. Spikesu content.